Hey everyone! Are you ready for some math fun? Let's talk fractions. Fractions might seem tricky at first, but once you get the hang of them, they can be really exciting and useful. Fractions are everywhere, and they're way cooler than you might think. From the kitchen to the construction site, fractions play a crucial role in our daily lives. They help us share pizza, bake delicious cookies, and even build amazing things. Imagine trying to share a pizza without knowing how to divide it into equal parts. Think about it, you can't have half a slice of pizza without fractions, right? Fractions make it possible to enjoy every bite equally. That's where they come in handy. Whether you're doing homework or cooking, fractions are your best friend. Fractions help us understand parts of a whole. They break things down into manageable pieces, making complex problems easier to solve. When we add or subtract fractions, we're basically figuring out how many parts we have in total. It's like putting together pieces of a puzzle. Multiplying and dividing fractions is like magic too. It allows us to scale recipes, adjust measurements, and solve problems efficiently. Imagine you're baking cookies and need to double the recipe. Fractions make it easy to adjust the quantities of each ingredient. Multiplying fractions helps you figure out exactly how much of each ingredient you need. No more guessing or estimating. Dividing fractions helps us split things up evenly, like when you're sharing a chocolate bar with your friends. Everyone gets a fair share, thanks to fractions. Let's dive deeper into fractions. A fraction consists of a numerator and a denominator. The numerator represents the number of parts we have, while the denominator shows the total number of equal parts. For example, in the fraction 3/4, 3 is the numerator, and 4 is the denominator. This means we have 3 out of 4 equal parts. Adding fractions involves finding a common denominator, while subtracting fractions requires us to subtract the numerators once the denominators are the same. Multiplying fractions is straightforward. We multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. Dividing fractions involves flipping the second fraction and then multiplying. With practice, fractions become second nature. They are essential tools in math and everyday life. So let's embrace fractions and make math fun. Now let's talk about algebra. It's a fascinating branch of mathematics that might seem intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it, it can be quite enjoyable. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. In fact, algebra is all about finding the unknown and solving problems step by step. Algebra is like a puzzle where we use letters to represent numbers. These letters, often called variables, stand in for values we need to discover. And guess what? Fractions are part of the fun. They help us break down numbers into smaller, more manageable parts. Remember how we used fractions to divide that chocolate bar? It's a delicious way to understand how parts make up a whole. We can use algebra to represent that. By using variables like x, we can create equations that describe real-world situations. Let's say the chocolate bar has x squares and you want to share it with a friend. Algebra helps us figure out how to divide it equally. Each of you gets x divided by 2 squares. This simple equation shows how algebra can be applied to everyday life. See? Fractions and algebra working together. They are tools that help us understand and solve problems. The cool thing about algebra is that it helps us solve for those mystery numbers represented by letters. It's like being a detective in the world of numbers. We use equations, which are like balancing scales. Each side must be equal for the equation to be correct. What we do to one side of the equation, we must do to the other to keep things equal. This balance is the key to solving algebraic problems. Let's dive deeper into algebraic expressions. These are combinations of variables, numbers, and operations that represent a value. For example, 2x plus 3 is an algebraic expression. Here, e2xe means 2 times the variable x, and we add 3 to it. To solve these expressions, we need to find the value of the variable that makes the equation true. This process involves isolating the variable on one side of the equation, which helps us find its value. Another important concept in algebra is the distributive property. It allows us to multiply a single term by each term within a parenthesis. For instance, in the expression 3, x plus 4, we distribute 3 to both x and 4, resulting in 3x plus 12. Understanding these concepts and practicing them will make algebra much easier and more intuitive. So keep practicing, and soon you'll see how algebra connects to everything around us. Let's try solving a simple equation together. Here we have x plus 5 equals 10. Our goal is to figure out what x is. It might seem tricky at first, but don't worry, we'll break it down step by step. Think of it like this. We have a bag of marbles which represents x, and we add 5 more marbles to it. Now we have 10 marbles in total, so the equation x plus 5 equals 10 makes sense, right? To find out how many marbles were in the bag initially, we need to subtract 5 from both sides of the equation. This helps us balance the equation. By doing this, we isolate x on one side and find out that x equals 5. It's like peeling away layers to get to the core. We just solved for x. Isn't that amazing? See, algebra isn't so bad after all. With a little practice, it becomes easier and even fun. It's just like solving a puzzle. And with practice, you'll be a pro in no time. Keep practicing and you'll master it. Let's try another one. Solve for y in the equation y minus 3 equals 7. To isolate y, we need to add 3 to both sides of the equation. By doing this, we balance the equation and find that y equals 10. Great job! You've just solved another equation. Keep practicing and you'll get even better. Ready for a challenge? Here's a fun problem to try on your own. You and your friends are having a pizza party. The pizza is cut into 12 slices. You eat 1/3 of the pizza, and your friends eat 2/3 of the pizza. How many slices of pizza did you eat? How many slices of pizza did your friends eat? If each slice of pizza costs $2, how much did you spend on the slices you ate? Now let's switch gears to algebra. Solve for x, 2x plus 3 equals 11. What is the value of x? Good luck, math whizzes. Remember, practice makes perfect. Keep those brains buzzing, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Gap 2s. Let's dive deeper into the world of math with some advanced topics. We'll explore more complex fractions, algebraic equations, and even touch on some geometry. Stay tuned for more math fun. Gap 2s. First, let's take a closer look at fractions. Imagine you have a chocolate bar divided into 24 pieces. If you eat 5/8 of the chocolate bar, how many pieces did you eat? And if your friend eats the remaining part of the bar, how many pieces did they eat? Gap 2s. Now let's tackle a more challenging algebraic equation. Solve for y3y slash 4 plus 5 equals 20. What is the value of y? Gap 2s. Finally, let's dip our toes into geometry. Consider a triangle with sides of lengths 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and 5 centimeters. What type of triangle is this, and how do you calculate its area? Gap 2s. These advanced topics may seem tricky at first, but with practice and perseverance, you'll master them in no time. Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep having fun with math. Gap 2s. Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more exciting math adventures. Until next time, happy calculating.